President Obama has actually requested in his budgetary request that we do upfront about $50 billion of investment in surface transportation. There's a surface transportation reauthorization bill, which is a multi-year bill, 6 years. If you could front load $50 billion in the first couple of years, the estimates are we have $200 billion of unmet, economically justifiable infrastructure projects in the country, economically justifiable. Every $1 billion of spending on infrastructure, let's say the range of job creation is somewhere between 11,000 and 30,000. So infrastructure spending is both desirable on its competitiveness, it's economically justifiable, it will make us a more competitive place, and it will also create a significant number of jobs. And if we could just get some of this money out the door and being spent, we would really begin to see serious effects on jobs. The idea would be to front load. You have a multi-year surface reauthorization transportation, and you speed up some of the spending up front. Now, in order to do that, we talked a lot on the panel also about we would need to get the permitting structure correct, because right now sometimes it takes 3 years, sometimes it takes 4 years, sometimes it takes 5 years to actually get a project from inception to being started. We can do much better on that. So the Council is focused on getting the permitting processes expedited. If I go to the permitting structure problem in infrastructure, this is really oftentimes a lack of coordination between the federal and state government. It's a problem of the appropriations process and earmarking. It's the problem of having to go many agencies having to review a project before it's finally approved. There are things the government itself can do within existing regulations to expedite the process. And it also can ease regulations on a temporary basis. It can do a set of priority projects and say, these projects are so important that let's get all the agencies together and say, within 6 months' time, you have to decide what your position is on this.
The Chinese government now is trying to accelerate its opening up of the financial service and to encourage more foreign banks, insurance company and securities company coming to China and help China to build up its modern financial service sectors, which is critical for China's continuous economic progress. Because in the past 3 decades, our major success has been focused on manufacturing sectors. I'm very glad to listen that this morning that the senior advisor to the President of the United States always says that the United States now welcomes foreign investment. I think it's a good news for the Chinese enterprises because we see a lot of opportunities for the Chinese enterprise to invest here in the United States. Not only benefit the Chinese enterprises, I think more importantly, it could also benefit the U.S. economy and help the U.S. to create more jobs, which is very critical to this country at this time. I think the managed uncertainty is to stick to some basic policies. For instance, in China, we also see a lot of uncertainty because of the vast changes, both in the rural areas and in the cities. The important thing is that you should keep the direction very consistently. And you have to, in China, for instance, we have to keep the economic policy by economic reform and opening to the outside world, because you have to keep your basic economic policy consistent in order to create a more predictable and foreseeable and transparent goal of the economic development.